Okay, on this video, I'm gonna go over the quick spit, spit cluck, some people call it, but it's just a really aggressive. You'll hear them a lot of times when they're, if you've ever been to a park, you hear geese doing it all the time, but it's a really sharp push moan and then a cluck right after. I mean, it's so quick you can't even, it's almost hard to distinguish, but it sounds like this. So all I'm doing to start off with is, this is the back part of my bottom teeth. You're gonna build up pressure. What I like to say into the back of the call, I used this note took me probably the longest out of all the goose notes to learn, but instead of saying, some guys say to hut really fast, the way my tongue works, it blended together too much and I never could really get a crisp distinction between the push moan and the cluck. So the way that I learned to get that true spit note sound is saying kahut. Because then I'm using the back part of the middle part of my tongue instead of, when I say tahut, I'm using too much of the tip of my tongue, which most of the time it works for most people saying tahut. But for me, when I go, instead of going tahut, or it'd be tahut, I'm using more of like the meatier part of my tongue going kahut. So it sounds like this into the back of the call. So you're getting 2 breaths of air in, but you're just immediately dropping your tongue, building up pressure. It takes a lot of pressure. Some calls are different, but it takes a lot of pressure on most calls. Go kahut. And it's fast. It's not slow. I mean, you have to really pressurize, drop down, and immediately get that cluck back up. Sounds a lot like a regular cluck. This is a regular cluck. This is a spit note. So it's just a really aggressive. I like using this call whenever I'm trying to get real aggressive. I finish geese with it most of the time, but I'll just throw it into my sequence. Just trying to sound goosey, throw it in with some clucks and moans. You can get slower with it once they start locking up and they look interested. So anyways, that's how I learned to do the spit note, is saying kahut instead of tahut. It just sounds more goosier and a lot more like a spit note. But either way, you can say tahut or you can say kahut, whichever way works for you the most. But like I said, using that back part of my tongue whenever I go ka instead of ta is really what helped me get the two different sounds in there to where it sounds like a spit note. So hope you guys found something useful in this video. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.